Jane from Tibbs, and that.
Okay, welcome to today's class, and I warmly welcome to online lifelong study circle, where we do online courses. We study influential and key vital books as well, and that helps us for coach to ourselves in going and um, developing and achieving our goals in the life. And more importantly, it is for our personal development through the spiritual development, mental intelligence, physical intelligence, and also emotional intelligence. So there are a lot of things we do cover in each class. And we basically are studying consciousness from last couple of months now, and we have done a lot of things in this. And nowadays we are studying the levels of consciousness, the level of consciousness which is has a central point is a map of consciousness, which is on your screen. And uh, and the map of consciousness is a guide of your whole life. And it does mean that you start your your journey when you were very depressed, when you were very shameful, and when you were hopeless. And then from there you start to build your life um, until until you achieve the highest point of happiness. And highest points of the happiness is when you are love and you do love purely, when you are enjoying and you are itself a joyful being, when you are in peace and you feel perfection in yourself. And these are the points which are never changeable after when you achieve them. But to reach those points, which we also called awakening, which we also called enlightenment, these points are uh, some standards and some uh, effortful things we have to do. But we cannot achieve the highest point in consciousness until we are aware where we are going through, which state of consciousness I am passing through, and where I am going actually to the next state of consciousness. So that was the biggest confusion for majority of the people who are the truth lover, okay, who want to live and spend life sincerely, organically, naturally, okay, without any impurities, okay. But the doctors, David Hawken, who uh, who was the great spiritual leader and who had practice in the clinic as a psychiatrist, he wrote the book. This book is The Map of the Consciousness Explained, and that book is the guide of the path of success. Actually, the success is a very small thing when we start to read and understand these things. So every week we are studying each level, okay? We started from shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. And today we are studying this one, which is a half journey through the uh, enlightenment, okay? And that is our today's topic, the courage. The courage is the fulcrum. The courage is the starting point where you start to take your uh, charge in your life. You start that now is enough. When you start to think, now I need change and really, really change. When you start to make a goal to achieve something which is important for your life. That could be personal development, that could be health goal, that could be fitness goal, that could be becoming a financial independent, or going or for the next promotion in your office, or to start a new business, or to launch a new product or initiative in your life, to build a relationship. If you have a poor relationship with your husband or wife, or your partner, then you start to achieve, now I need to change this relationship. And if you want to change in community or in your society, that is going to be required a lot of courage. And that we are going to learn in this class, that how we can become courageous, and what are the things we can uh, drift ourselves, and we have a clarity about the courage is a starting point, where I will not have any apathy, I will not have any hopelessness, I will not be shameful in my life, I don't have a fear in my life. Yes, fear. So when you start courage and takes bold step, then it means you are without fears, okay? And then you can do anything, anything, literally anything, whichever level, on your personal level, in your community level, in your city or country level, or on a global or international level. You can do anything. And that we are going to learn, and we contemplate as well. So you can also share your stories as well, uh, how you feel being a courageous, and why courage is important for you. Okay, so the courage is a central point where you are able to distinguish between what are the right forces for me and what are the negative forces for me to go in. You start to have clarity, and that is very, very important thing, because without clarity you cannot take the step, is enough, because you need something to which can empower yourself, and that empowerment is basically a, 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 a state where you need to go. So let's start to read it, and let's see how we go. So Kim, are you able to start reading? Yeah, maybe Kim can read it later. No problem. So let me start it for you. So he's saying that at the 200 level, the power really first appears when we test subjects at all the energy level below 200. We find, as can be readily verified, that they all go weak. Okay. So that is the thing which we are going to through this class. Then everyone goes strong in response to the life supportive fields above 200. This is the critical level that distinguish the positive and negative influences of the life, as we already mentioned. At this level of courage, an attainment of the true occur. Therefore, it is a level of empowerment. You start to feel empowered, and you feel that there is now enough internal force to come out from your problem. So look at the hope and the courage in that title image, which I just arranged for you. Okay. Because at the point of the courage, you are exploring different opportunities. You are for fortitude, and you are determined to achieve your goals. You are actually making your goals. Okay? And you are exciting, you are challenging obstacles in your life. So many toxic people, they are in your success way. So you are challenging to get rid of them politely or nicely or adequately, you know. So that all point of the courage when we do these things. At the point of the courage, we start to design our life, basically. We start to design our life, and that design is uh, uh, that we I, nobody can dictate me, nobody can teach me. I have my own brush and paint to design my own life. Okay, because you are enough powered, and that powered um, point, you start to try new things. Okay, and why we start, like you start a new career which you never imagined. You start to think to live that place which you never imagined you will go to that place to live. You start to make different people which you once you thought that they are the different people, and you never and you used to hate them, but now you start to shake hand with them. So you always try new things. Okay, and you have paint and brush in your hand too, and because you are different, okay, you start to fly at the point of courage, when we are in courage. Okay, um, and at this point you also start to learn new skills. Have you uh, can anybody tell that what sort of new skill anybody learned recently, and why you learned that thing recently? What makes you to learn that thing? Anybody can share?
Hi, good morning.
Hey,
Uh,
Oh,
Javeria.
Hi, good morning, Jenny. And good afternoon, sir. Yeah,
hi.
how are you both?
Yeah. So
uh,
good to see you, Javeri and Jenny, both. I welcome to our class today. So yeah, Javeria, you have something that to learn a new skill and you became courageous. Did you
yes,
do something?
yes. I just participated recently in revival, so I learned from there as and working there as a volunteer. So I learned, so just because working there, I learned some technical new skills, and which made me so courageous, and I was glad on this.
I see. Great, amazing. Like I want to share that because I am at the level of courage as well. So the I shake hand with those people which we had conflict before, and when I met with them, I never feel that we used to have a lot of conflict and disliking with each other. But uh, now I feel that I found new friends, which we used to be like our enemy before. So this is a new thing which I created. So I improved my relationship by becoming a courageous. Okay, so that is why my one of achievement as a, so because in a state of courage you become that fish which other big fishes try to eat you, kill you, but you are going on your way. Okay, and nobody can catch you because you are enough courageous. Okay, and that is the main point. In this courageous point, um, when you have a fear that somebody can eat you like a dinosaur. Okay, uh, you start to work, you do not concentrate on them. Okay, uh, and uh, uh, and you build the capacity not have this fear, and that fear basically uh, grow you more. That out of fear, courageous point, grow you more, and you start to contemplate on yourself. Oh, I have this weakness. I have a power to, and I have a courage to change myself For example, if I used to rude with people, if I used to become angry, then I start to think that now I'm courageous. I have a power not to be angry. I have a power not to be rude with other. Rather, I have a power, I have a courage to improve my character defects and problem, and actually obstacles that defeat people whose consciousness is below acts as a stimulant to those who have evolved into the first level of true power. So this is something which really, really important for our this level of consciousness. Now look at this beautiful dog. This dog look like uh, is deciding some courageous, but this dog is coming out from some fear, okay, and he or she is thinking something to achieving a true power, and that is making him courageous. If that dog was shy, if that dog was tortured by his or her owner or master, now he or she decided that he or she can work on herself or himself to become courageous. And he or she wants to come out lower level of evolution of his consciousness, which are guilt, which are fear, which are apathy, which are anxiety, which is in depression. So, I mean, encourages you overcome on your fear. Like many people, they have a fear to go on heights. Many people, they have a fear not to swing round shape swings like I used to have, that if I used to sit in a circular swings, I start to scared that I will vomit. And then I did vomit couple of times when I was in my childhood. And that made me quite a lazy and fearful person. So I never sit on those circular swings. But later I found that it's just my state of mind. It's just my fear. And then I start to ride these circular swings in a joyland, in a fun land. So, I mean, and there are hundreds of fears when people start to courageous to do this. Many people have a spider fear, and whenever they see even a tiny spider, even a small spider, then they start to um, shout. They start to, I mean, speak louder and really, really scared of small insects as well. So, yeah, Jenny, you wanted to say something?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about what you said about fear right now, which was something else. Fear is such a healthy response if it's something like you're paying attention, like you know not to go in a dark alley because something tells you not to go there. And and then there's somebody, in that alley. Well, that healthy fear was just like a sense response, something we were born with that we want to pay attention to for danger. And that would be a healthy fear. But then an unhealthy fear would be something like, there's the girl in the 8th grade that you just never asked out and you wish you did, but you didn't have the courage. You were too scared. And now she's married to someone else. And so are you, but then you find out later she had a crush on you too, and you just never took that chance, and you changed the trajectory of,
Yeah.
2 lives that could have come out differently based on just your fear. You missed out on something because of fear. So it's interesting where you place a fear. You know, do you place it where it goes, where it should be, where it's healthy, like the alley, or do
Yeah.
you lose opportunities because you're just too scared? You know?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Here we talking about the fear which is destructive and has a negative emotion and takes you further as like a phobic person about something. But you're right that some fear, or maybe we can call them little exciting anxiety, uh, when I mean, so
Well, I think
but
because when you have the healthy fear that you're used to, then it
yeah,
makes you take the unhealthy fear and still feel a comfort in it. Like, oh, I better not, you know, because of
yeah,
XYZ, when you miss so many opportunities. And like this says, when you have the confidence and the power of just saying, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to fear it at all. The worst case scenario is she says no, or or I don't get the job or whatever. But usually you walk in with a confidence that people want some of, and they're like, I will hire them. Or the girl says, yes, I'm glad you asked,
yeah,
based on where you're at in your confidence, I think.
yeah, you're right. If you see from the map of consciousness, so fear is located here. Okay, if you see here. So if your fear, based on your description, if the fear is positive, then that fear will take you upward and to achieve, to desire or achieve your goals, or maybe make you angry, because your anger sometimes take you to a prize which pride is a state when you achieve something and you start to become different. So that fear is a positive fear, but majority fear people take downward towards the conscious level, and their fear, based on their childhood experience or even adulthood experience, take them in a guilty shame or hopelessness, in depression. So of course these fear, that type of fearful anxiety is very dangerous, and that we need to work on. But when we are here at encourageous, sorry, it's okay. So when we are here at the point of courage, okay, so we basically not only assume, we 100% have come out from fear, this fear, okay, and that fear is basically no longer in your life. Or maybe you can say the positive fear uh, is a little bit with it, or maybe we can relabel it as something else. But uh, because there is a gap and three stages between when you become courageous to take initiative in your life and when you were fearful. So because you have to cross over uh, your goals of your life, your anger, overcome the anger in your life, and you have to cross the pride of proudful roles or things in your life. And then you become courageous in a truly way when you feel uh, really, really empowered. Okay. And that start to build the trust for the people, and you start to trust in when you become neutrality, which is our next Sunday class, is that we will discuss what actually mean by neutrality. So when I was preparing the neutrality, I come across a lot of great things. So we will learn it as well. So let's continue our courage. So in the courage state, people at this level put back into the world as much energy as they take at the lower level. Populations as well as individual drain energy from society without reciprocating. So yeah, So courageous people always contributor. The contribution is immense. They contribute, for example, with their children. They contribute if to work on the weakness of their partner. For example, if there is a weakness in the husband, the intelligent wife uh, contribute in his life to empower him to come out from this state of lower consciousness, and the vice versa. So, and that wife can also uh, empower other men or women in those roles which she can contribute. And of course, you will get reward as well. Society will reciprocate of your input as well. But here encourages you don't need any reward at the moment, because you are not courageous to get something in back, because you are too positive and you don't need anything in reward, but you still will get reward a lot. And I believe in that state, you are very humble as well. You are in down to earth as well. So this is something which we are really needs to work. So, Javeria, can you read it next point in the courage?
Yes. Uh, because accomplishment result in positive feedback, reward, and esteem become progressively reinforcing. This is where productivity began.
Yeah. So productivity begins when you become courageous. So many people, they do couple of things or many things in their life and they never get result. Um, I believe mostly those are those people who are not enough courageous to get the desired results. Um, Maybe they are lack of tools of productivity, or maybe they are lack of the knowledge of the methods to become more productive through become courageous. And that is something which we need to really work on. And here is a big news for us. It was a big news for me as well. And that big news, Jenny can read it.
The collective level of human consciousness remained at 190 for many centuries and curiously only jumped over 200 in the 1980s.
That's it's a big breaking news by Dr. David Hawking. And according to him, our whole humanity, all countries, and as a collective, our whole world, we were remained 190 throughout last couple of 100 years. Okay. Let me see if we go back. 190 lies where? 190 lies here somewhere. Okay. Here on a pride level. Okay. So, and that pride could be because of their religious, that I'm proud to be a Jew, I'm proud to be a Hindu, I'm proud to be a Christian, I'm proud to be a Muslim, I'm proud to be a Indonesian, I'm proud to be a British, I'm proud to be a French speaker, I'm proud to be a Spanish. So, or I'm proud to become a woman, I'm proud to become a business entrepreneur, I'm proud to become a dad, I'm proud to become a CEO of the company, I'm proud to become a community leader, I'm proud to become a politician, I'm proud to become a campaign leader. So that all proud or pride, we all were here. So according to Dr. That all we nations were here in a pride level, okay? But he says, he claimed that we all human become courageous, okay, here in 1980s. In 1980s, which is like 40 years ago around, or 40, 50 years ago. So that is a big claim. So before that, we all were here. Okay. We all were living. And that makes sense as well, because from last 400-500 years ago, we all as a world were fighting with each other. All races are fighting with each other. Black were fighting against white. Christian and Muslims were fighting with each other. Jews were fighting against other nations. There were First World War, Second World War, um, and many what was called empires. All people were busy in creating empire, and they wanted to be proud of that empires, and that empires basically were ridiculed in modern time, that we need to free the nation to make their own countries, and based on their own interest. So before, we used to be quite angry people. We used to in fear. We used to be grief. We had a less hope. We used to feel guilt and shame. But after I mean, uh, 1980 year, which is 40, 50 years ago, which is close to my birth as well. Uh, that
It's
time,
14 hours.
that time we start to become courageous until now. Okay, so it means that Dr. David Hawken is very hopeful that we are going towards right direction. So we are going towards genuine world where we will have love, we will have joy, we will have peace, uh, and we will eventually uh, follow awakening or enlightenment. So that is a good news. Um, and yeah, so if he would be alive, I would ask him a question as well. So that, can you explain this more, because this resonate me or many people, I must say, that what does it mean, and how you can claim. But his claim is based on fact as well. Okay, but why he's specific about 119s, so 1980s? But maybe that was a birth of the generation. If you're familiar, there are 5, 6 generations started from here. Generation X, Generation Y, generation baby booms. So these type of generations started. But anyway, but that is good news, that we are more courageous than before. And that will help us to become neutral, you know. So neutrality is the next level of uh, state of consciousness, where our energy is 250, okay, and we do not see the life in terms of black and white, okay. You know, many people, they think the life is a black and white, and they try to mess and control other people. And they are including politicians, they are including many not good leaders. And there are many people in an individual level because they are not neutral. Okay. So we will start to learn this neutrality, which is our next state of consciousness next Sunday. So, so after when you become courageous, okay, then you become neutral as well. And what are the stages in neutrality we will learn here. So the next topic we will learn is this one, neutrality. Okay, when you start to build trust or you become a trustworthy person. Okay, it's a great thing. It is more than a dictionary definition, and it helps us to improve our consciousness to become a truly neutral person. So who is a neutral person? And what does it mean by neutrality? That we will learn next Sunday. So do you have any question or you want to share something before I close this class?
Thank you. And
I'm sorry.
I just want to say thanks and excited for coming Sunday to learn neutrality. Thank you.
Excellent.
I have a
Good.
question, Meritiv. So I have a friend that's experiencing the number 100, the anxiety, the fear, the frightening, and everything of what this class is on.
Yeah.
And what would be your suggestion to help somebody with that? Like, would they need to go through? Would it be fair to say that the only way to get up the ladder is to go through each thing going forward? Like they have to go through the 125 and the 150 and all of those things before they get to even the 200? Or do you jump from one to the other?
Yeah, that is a great question. And I ask this question myself and also from the study of this map of consciousness. I believe the proper path is that you go step by step, and they all are in sequence. So one is connect to the higher, and that higher connect to the more higher, and that is the like the standard map which David Hawkins is guiding us. However, I agree with you that many people, they have potential or they can not only by themselves but automatically with the blessing of God, with the blessing of the universe. For example, if somebody is at fear, okay, and that person's fear level is something different which I or you cannot understand, and by self-help, if that person um, may go directly to, let's say, 400 energy frequency, where that person become a wise person and he or she start to giving meaning and understanding the whole process of the things, okay, directly from fear to here. And it does mean that he or she does not need to go through anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness. So these things will automatically or should come when that person will become wise, or that person is now giving a meaning of to his or her life properly. And now he is a man or she's a man of reasoning properly. So yeah, I mean, this jump does matter as well. In my experience, in my as a character, as a personality, um, I think I did not go through all these levels. Okay. However, many times I jump from one lower level to higher level as well. So, for example, I am at this level at the moment when I'm enjoying and I have a serenity. Okay. But when I have reached here, did I go through each and everything? Uh, Maybe. I mean, some level I stayed a longer, and some levels I just skipped and go to the next level. Okay, because this is such a subjective thing, and it's not a objective type of reality which I can witness, or I'm noting down the whole journal of my life. So that is difficult. But however, yes, there is possibility, and that with the blessing of God, that depends how you are spiritual. You can jump from lowest emotion level to higher emotion without going to the middle things. Um, that is my opinion. I may be wrong or right, but that is a great question. Uh, anyway, Jenny. So, um, yeah. So I
That's
hope.
awesome. That's a great explanation. It really is. Because I was wondering because like, there's something where you're at a higher level and somebody's at a lower level, and then when you talk to them and say things like you jump straight up to optimism, for instance, well, that angers them because they're
uh,
like, you don't understand, you don't know where I'm at, and you do
yeah,
know where they are, but then I guess you're jumping too high in the log, you know, before you understand the ones in between. That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. And one thing I will add as well. Once if somebody is on a higher level, for example, if somebody is living a harmonious life, and where he or she has accepted all truth around her or him, and he or she has a courage to forgive himself, herself, or other. So, for example, somebody is here, and its a level is 350. It is highly unlikely. It is highly unlikely that person goes back, because you achieve this level when you have all these things cross over, and you are going upward definitely. However, if your conscious level become broken, or you really made a mess with your life intentionally, or you start to living with those people who have a lowest level of consciousness, for example, and you are there for longer term, then there is likely you will go back. Okay. And but in a normal circumstances, when you are growing, you will go always up, and that is a great news. uh, and because I will say 90 to 95% people will always go up. Okay, there is no back. They can. However, there is exceptions there when people fell down, and they start to deny spirituality. They start to deny there is no love, there is no joy, there is no peace, there is no God, there is um, uh, no anything, like, when you are in denial situation. And when you are in denial situation, it means you have fallen on this state.
Wow, that's so cool.
So that is amazing. I believe, I mean, this explanation or this guide or about the life is really changed not only my life, but when I see the other people who are very interested in this map of consciousness, uh, they're really confident and clear about their life, where they were and where they are, and where they are going. And that is the beauty of this book and this author. And also, I try to share with you people. So that's it. So this is the story of courageous people, which we just look into. So next week we will learn about neutrality and what does it mean by neutrality, and that is also we need to understand. So thank you very much, and I will see you next week, same time. And so apologize, I was late today, I think first time.
Well, I'm weeks late. I'm late by, 2 surgeries and out of town and not been here for probably 8 weeks.
No, no problem. Sometimes breaks are better, and it gives you new energy to learn new things or apply in a new form. So
Yeah.
always think positive. That's all right. Thank you very much, and see you next Sunday. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Meritive. See you then. Bye.